Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'm Nicole, and today I'm going to show you how to make shredded wheat bread. It's a simple, tender loaf that's wonderful for toast and sandwiches. And you've guessed it, we're going to be putting shredded wheat biscuits in this bread. The reason shredded wheat makes this bread great, it allows the bread to retain a texture that is similar to white bread, but you still get some added fiber. And these shredded wheat biscuits are 100% whole grain wheat, adding 7 grams of fiber to your loaf of bread. We're going to start by soaking our biscuits in warm milk, and we're just simply going to pour that over the biscuits and just give them a little bit of a mush down into the milk. And to my stand mixer bowl, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of water, 95 to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. To our water, we'll add 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast and a tablespoon of honey. Don't worry, I will have the recipe link included for you in the description. And we'll just give this a stir, and then we'll let it sit and bloom for about 10 minutes. And to our foamy yeast, we're going to add our shredded wheat, which by now is nice and mushy, a couple tablespoons of unsalted butter that has been melted, a teaspoon of kosher salt, and 1 cup of bread flour. And we're going to put this on our stand mixer fitted with a paddle attachment. And we'll beat this on low for about a minute. Now we'll start adding flour gradually by the 1/4 cup until it starts to pull away from the sides of the bowl. In total, we'll be using 2 3/4 to 3 cups of flour. And you can see that the dough is becoming shaggy and pulling away from the sides of the bowl. And now we're going to change the paddle attachment to the dough hook. I have about 1/3 to 1/2 a cup of flour left, and we're going to add it now by the tablespoon until our dough is supple and smooth, 7 to 8 minutes. Your dough should be pulling away from the sides of the bowl, but still remain a little bit tacky. So in the end, I have about 1/4 cup of flour left, which means I've used a total of 2 3/4 cups here. The amount of flour you use is going to depend on how you've measured the flour itself, and the humidity conditions in your kitchen. Now we're going to scoop our dough into a lightly oiled bowl and gently roll your dough in the oil to coat. Cover tightly with plastic wrap and allow to rise until double in size, about an hour. And here is our lovely dough. And we're going to gently deflate our dough. And turn it out onto a clean work surface. And now we're going to press the dough out into a rectangle. Once our dough is in a rectangle shape, we're going to fold it like a letter. Flatten it out a little bit and roll up tightly. And now we simply want to roll it gently to increase its length to the size of the loaf pan. And we want to lightly grease a standard loaf pan. I'm using non-stick spray today, but go ahead and lightly brush with butter if you like. And now we'll scoop them up into the pan, and we'll cover loosely with lightly oiled plastic wrap. We're going to allow it to rise until it's just peeking over the top of the pan about 1 inch, about 45 minutes. And here's our dough once again, nicely puffed, and we want to make several shallow slashes in the dough to allow for expansion. You can use a sharp knife or a bread lame. Now we're going to bake in a preheated 375 degree Fahrenheit oven for 35 to 40 minutes. Pop it out onto a cooling rack. There's not much that smells better than freshly baked bread. And now our beautiful bread has to cool before we slice it. It is the bread for white lovers if you want to sneak in a little bit of fiber. Thank you for watching today. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a great recipe. And we'll see you again.